Hey, what's going on, guys? BotMentality here with another Bitcoin chart analysis. Today is April 12th of 2018, and we've had some very exciting action on Bitcoin just now in the past couple hours. So it's very pumped to see that. It's good to see the bulls coming through and getting some upwards action. And we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on and how you can capitalize on the current market. So what we've been seeing right now is the market sentiment turning very bullish. We saw a failure to break the downward wedge for a while. We rejected off it twice. That third time we ripped up through that thing, triggered a ton of stops. We had many shorts covering. And what we found is that definitely fueled this move up to the next price level. So the market sentiment is definitely turning back very bullish. You'll remember in prior videos I spoke about, due to the consolidating price action, it could only get so tight for so long. Eventually what's going to happen, it'll either break down or break up, and we'll see massive momentum following that. And that's exactly what we got here, guys. But I think what surprised most people is that this actually went to the upside. Of course, we all expect Bitcoin to go up in the long term, but this soon, I don't think many people expected that. Now, that's a lot of what fueled this move was a surprise, the stops being triggered. And, you know, we know that I spoke about the high short interest we had on BitMEX and Bitfinex, the highest actually it's ever been at this point. And that definitely triggered a lot of liquidations, and that helped fuel this move. But let's go ahead and jump into the price action, break this down a little bit. We'll head over here to the 1 hour chart. You'll see here, this is essentially the pattern that I drew previously, and this is what we were watching, okay? We were looking at the consolidating price action of we had multiple lower highs, and you see these lower highs right here, okay, at the top of the channel, and then we had higher lows right here at the bottom of the channel. And that's exactly what we were keeping an eye on and watching that price get tighter and tighter and tighter as we rejected right off that trend line. Well, what happened was we pulled back here and had a little bit of a bounce. This was right here on the 12th. We had a bounce off the bottom of that 6,800 trend line and held. From there, we continued back up. We didn't stop here at 6,900. The fireworks really started going off once we broke 7,000. We broke above that 7,000 trend line. And wow, we just shot straight up, guys. Went all the way from really a low of 6,788 all the way up to 8,000. We actually went through 8,000 towards 8,050. So this was definitely a very, very relieving move for the bulls, and it definitely wrecked the shorts. So we saw follow through on that. Now regarding the RSI right now, it's at 78. It even peaked, guys, up here at I believe was 85 on the hourly, which is huge, which is very huge. We haven't seen that high of a 1 hour RSI in a while. You can just look back here, guys. It's been a while since we've gotten that high. I think around 2 months even. So this is a huge indication that RSI, that abnormality on the RSI, is essentially suggesting a change in X, in something, in the trend. We're seeing a change in the trend now, and this is definitely significant on the daily as well, which I'll show you when we hop over to that. But really what I'd focus on right now, as you can see, we had a huge push up here and a sell-off on the hourly into the end of the candle. You see that wick up there? That wick indicates that we had a lot of sellers come in at 8,000 and we had profit taking. So what I would like to see regarding this for the bull case is actually we continue this path we're on. Move this over a little bit here. We continue the path we're on, and we keep an eye on this past resistance here, which now became support at 7,500. So what I'm looking at, I'll go ahead and draw a horizontal line here for you guys. I'm looking at us holding this area right here, pulling back and consolidating around that area. Now, I wouldn't place a stop directly under this because we might drop back through it. But honestly, I think we're going to enter a new channel. And I could see potential buy zone being anywhere between, let's see, 7,600 and 7,400 over the next, I would say, hour or two is what I'd expect when I would expect the price to hit that level. And so I think what we're going to do here regarding the price is we're actually going to continue down, maybe just something a little bit like this, okay? We might bounce a little bit through it down to 7.4, but really what's going to happen is we're going to hold this 7,500 level. This is what I expect if you were looking to get long Bitcoin here. And then I would like to see us curl up to retest the prior high here at 8,000 at that horizontal 8,000 resistance. And I'll go ahead and draw that out for you guys as well. So I'd like for us to form a channel in this area. Now, it might not be as tight as I just drew it, but that's exactly what I'm looking for, to bounce around this area before we head up and test the next resistance, which should be at the 8,300 area. And so that's what happened here on the hourly, guys. We definitely saw the bulls follow through. I'm looking to buy the dip here. Look, I'm expecting 7,000 to hold, and that's my long perspective right now. The RSI, I'd like for that to cool off a little bit, at least come back down here to sub 70 would be great. Would definitely be fantastic if it could. And I would expect we'd see sub 70 here in correlation with the 7480 or 7,500 area. I think is when we'd finally cool off to that point in the RSI. But it might take a little bit more time. This is definitely, this break above this trend is a huge bullish indicator. So let's jump over to the real significant stuff here on the daily and what I'm saying on the daily. So here on the daily, go ahead and zoom in. You'll see that we broke above that high I spoke about in the past video. What we really need to see was a candle that pushed above and should close over this high, this 7,500 area. And what that means is it essentially looks like we have a potential double bottom here and here. If we can close above that, we have a nice rounded bottoming action here to a huge break through that trend line. You can see it right here. The trend line we drew of the downward wedge. We broke above that. But what's really significant is the fact that we actually broke above the top of a more significant trend line. I'll just delete these lines here for you to clean it up. If we draw a trend line all the way up here from the high peak here, our high at $19,378.99. We draw the line from here and connect it all the way down here, okay? Now what you're going to see, and I'll go ahead and put a horizontal one right here at the past support, which is right here at, we'll say 6,600 right in here. What you'll see is we actually broke above the massive trend line down from 19,000. We broke above it right here. That's a huge deal, guys. Now, you see there are sellers. You see with that massive wick we had here at the top, there are a lot of sellers in this area. But not only did we break this trend line, which would have been a great, bullish feat, we ripped through the 7,200 top of channel resistance that I spoke about in the prior videos that was so strong previously. We ripped through that no problem in all under an hour, guys, here at 7,200. And we ripped through the 7,500 resistance level, which is right here. We ripped through all of that, and we ripped through the top of that trend line, and we broke through this $8,000 horizontal resistance, which I think is definitely very significant. So really, that right there, guys, is I would consider that 4 different resistance lines. So what's going to happen now is keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Also, pay attention to the bullish volume. You'll take a look here at the volume. We're actually dwarfing the April 9th bear candle right now. This is the biggest bull volume we've had here in a while, and it's so far, it's early in the day, we're already above this bull volume here, which was on the April 3rd, but we also broke way more critical resistance lines here on the upside. So definitely keep an eye on this move, guys. Keep an eye, look for the pullback if you're looking to get long. If I were you, I would not hammer shorts yet. If I was looking on the bear side, I'd want to see multiple rejects off the $8,000 price point. I spoke a lot more about it in my text analysis. You can head over to my subreddit. I'm going to have it linked in the description below, where I actually went into a little bit more depth about specific price points I'd look for on the bearish reject there on 8,000. I would look for confirmation on the short side. I wouldn't be hopping in too quickly into this action. You look at the RSI right now on the daily, we're sitting at 50.2. So we have prior resistance on the RSI up here at 58, between 55 and 58. But really right now, I wouldn't buy right here, guys, unless you're looking to scale in and have a close risk. We definitely want to see preferably the 7,500 actually retest. I'll scroll back a little bit here. Sorry, guys. I would like to see this bottom of the trend line I drew here at 75. I'd love to see that retest a couple times before we head up back towards 8,000, because this is a huge range. And honestly, a 50% retrace down here into the 7,400 area would still be healthy. Any closing anywhere in here would be fine. But preferably, I'd like to see a close above that 7,500 area. That would definitely be very bullish and signal that we have some strong times ahead. And one thing I want to mention about this bull run is we actually saw this recent bull run right here. We actually saw altcoins sell off pretty hard. If you look at the Litecoin to Bitcoin ratio, it dumped. What does that mean? People were selling, absolutely dumping Litecoin to buy Bitcoin. Let's see what happened to DGD. Same thing. ADA actually didn't sell off that much. Interesting, guys. Could there be a little bit of strength in there? I don't know. But what I'm looking at is, we just saw these sell-offs of these altcoins. That indicates people were dumping their altcoin to buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was heading up. So I think we're having some increased attention here, guys. Keep an eye on it. We're on CNBC. That CNBC was pumping us. We have a lot of people talking about this. So keep an eye on this, guys. This is definitely a very significant move, and I would not sleep on it. But really, that's all I have to say for right now. We'll see how I'll analyze this trend here again in a few hours, and we'll see where we're at. But definitely great news. We broke above this trend line. Watch the 7,500 area. Keep an eye on 7,500. Keep an eye on 8,000, and look for some pullbacks maybe to scoop long. And I would not hammer short here. I'd look for a double reject off the 8,000 area. Anywhere between 8,000 and 8,300 would be nice. But that's really all I got here for you guys. I wanted to keep this one quick, and that's it. So just remember to control your emotions, develop the bot mentality. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.